So today I wanted to talk about some books that I would like to read in the next few weeks slash months. So my summer TBR, and let's just address whatever's going on here. I was filming a video last week and I kind of didn't like how it turned out, so I told myself, oh, I'm going to refilm it. And then I didn't. I still might do it, so the books that I was going to like show you are still kind of hanging around here. But yeah, we're just gonna ignore it, okay? Okay. Oh, also I have bangs. And those are actually real bangs, because a few videos ago I had fake bangs. Those are real. And if you haven't seen my previous video, also I dyed my hair. I'm not sure if it's really showing up on camera, because I feel like on camera my hair overall looks a bit darker. But I don't know, maybe you can see it. Okay, so let's start with one book that I'm currently reading actually, but it has such great like spring/summer vibes that I'm just going to mention it briefly. The Enchanted April by Elizabeth von Armin. So, you can already tell that this is a perfect book to read in spring/summer. This is about 4 women who go to this small medieval Italian castle for the month of April. And, you know, some of them just want to get away from their husbands, some just want some peaceful time away from their miserable life in London. And honestly, this book is like no plot, just vibes. But I'm really enjoying it. Like, since the vibes are immaculate because this is set in Italy, I'm having a good time. Shall we get the classics out of the way first? Okay, The Posthumous Memoirs of Brascobas by Machado de Assis is, you probably know what it is. It's like a memoir. It's told like in first person by this guy who died, and he's like telling you his life story, and it's very like meta and funny, and the chapters are very short. And I don't know why, but I feel like something easy and funny is what I want to read in summer. And then we have, I feel like, the complete opposite of what I just talked about. Les Miserables by Victor Hugo. So I was supposed to start reading it in, was it April or May? I don't remember. So this is going to be a buddy read with Carrie. I will link her channel down below. But we had to push it back, and we're going to start it, I think, in the middle of July, maybe August, I'm not sure. I feel like we haven't fully decided on the date. But yeah, I would like to be done with it by the end of September, because like I always have so many plans for like October, because there's, you know, Victober and also Halloween, so I probably would like to read some horror in October. So, and then the end of the year, like, yeah, I really hope I will be done with it in September. We'll see. I feel like I don't need to tell you what this book is about. So, is that all of the classics? No, it isn't. So, in July, we also have Jane Austen July, and I'm not sure about the other prompts, but the main prompt is to read, you know, one of Jane Austen's main novels. Does that sentence make sense? I don't care. So, I'm going to be finally reading Mansfield Park, and I have read Mansfield Park a few years ago, but this is one of her novels that I've never reread. It's not one of my favorites. It's not at the bottom of the list. I actually do have a video where I rank all of Jane Austen's novels with a plugin, but if I remember correctly, this was a 3-star, and yeah, because of that I never reread it. But I don't know, I feel like this year might be the year. I'm interested to see if I will change my mind at all. I want to reread. Fanny is not one of my favorite protagonists. I thought she would be, because she's kind of like shy and meek, but I found her to be a bit too judgmental, maybe? I don't know. Boring? I don't know, I found overall, I found Mansfield Park to be a bit boring, and it's quite long. It's one of her longer novels, and yeah, also she, like, her love interest is her cousin. So there's that, you know, not a favorite of mine, but we'll see. I was thinking actually about reading, there's this prompt to read like a non-fiction, I think, about Jane Austen or Jane Austen's time. I'm not sure, wait, let me check. Yeah, read a non-fiction work about Jane Austen or her time. And the book that I would really like to read is The Genius of Jane Austen, because I've heard it's about Jane Austen and theatre, and kind of the influence of theatre on Jane Austen's novels. And you know that I love reading plays, and I do love theatre, so I feel like that's going to be a very interesting read. But I also, I've been wanting to read Jane Austen at home for years now, and I feel like maybe I should read the like most popular Jane Austen kind of biography first. I don't know, I don't own any of those books, so we'll see, we'll see. The one thing that I would definitely would like to get to is Mansfield Park. I'm not sure about the other prompts, like there's just, I don't know, there's a lot of things that I need to read. So I will definitely be watching some adaptation of one of Jane Austen's novels. That's a given. You don't have to encourage me to do that. I'm still not sure about prompt number 4, which is read a retelling of a Jane Austen book or a work of historical fiction set in Jane Austen's time. I'm not sure if I own anything that's set in Jane Austen's time, like historical fiction. I'll think about that one. And yeah, one last classic is for a readathon. It's for SUMMERWEEN, hosted by Gabby Reads. It's like a, it's a readathon where you'll read spooky books in the summer. Thrillers, horror, stuff like that. So I was thinking about reading one classic. I don't know, I might ignore the prompts, I'm not sure yet. But I was going to read Picnic at Hanging Rock by Joan Lindsay? I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce it. But yeah, summer day in the 1900s, young ladies go to a picnic and some people disappear. I think it is categorized as horror, but we'll see how accurate that is. Some other horror slash thriller books that I have on my radar. All's Well by Mona Watt. I have it on audiobook on script. I don't know, I think it's about like university professor that has a chronic illness, so love that chronic illness representation, and she's putting up a Shakespeare play. I don't know where the horror is, but we'll see. Another book, Comfort Me with Apples by Catherine Ambulante, which from what I've heard is kind of similar to, what's this movie with Florence Pugh and Harry Styles? Directed by Olivia Wilde. Why can't I remember? Oh, Don't Worry Darling. Okay, yeah, so I don't know, the premise sounds similar to that movie. And when it comes to a thriller, because there is a prompt to read a thriller, I was thinking about Wrong Place, Wrong Time. I think it's about a woman who witnesses her son killing someone and then she travels back in time, I think like a day before? I don't know, but basically she's trying to figure out why her son killed somebody or tries to stop him. So those are the things I would like to read for SUMMERWEEN, and then some other things. First things first, Pizza Girl by Jin Kyung Frazier. I actually don't know what this is about. 18-year-old girl who is pregnant and is working as a pizza delivery girl. Yeah, dysfunction heroine who is deeply lost and in denial about it. As we know, this is a vibe that I like, especially considering my previous video. I would also like to read The Wisteria Society of Lady Scoundrels. Also, like, how pretty is this cover? I love the colors. So this is no, it's not historical fiction because it has some fantasy elements, doesn't it? Or does it? I don't know. I've heard some really great things, and I don't normally lean towards, reading romance, but I've read like a few pages of it and I quite like the writing style. I don't think it's going to be very historically accurate, but at the same time I think since it has some like fantastical elements, does it? Am I making this up? I'm not sure. But maybe I might be more forgiving because of that. But what is okay, let's see what's fantastical historical romance. Okay, yeah. Okay, so we have a lady thief and a pirate. It'll be fun. And lastly, we have a book that I have been wanting to read for far too long. Either Are by Ellie Batterman. I have read The Idiot and I loved The Idiot, but I don't know, I didn't feel like The Idiot needed a sequel, so I have been a bit hesitant to read this, but the reviews have been really positive so far. I don't anticipate to like it as much as The Idiot, but I think possibly I will have still a good time, right? Maybe. Okay, that's everything. That's a lot of books. I didn't know I had that many on my TBR. We'll see what happens. So tell me what you have on your TBR for the summer, and I hope you enjoyed this video and I see you next one. Bye!